Well, good evening. I'm Robert A. Wilson with Cowboy+wisdom, and tonight, I open my eyes and understand. I stopped taking myself so serious. So, how do you take yourself so serious and you block out everything that good and your beliefs and everything you know is all there is, and that's the way everybody should live their life? I was that way, and I like the key word was. I opened my eyes to understand that the world thinks they're more important than we really are. And something that I've woken to and stepped forward to was understanding that when my heart stops and everything quits functioning, I'm equal to everybody else. And that is the thing. We go through life thinking we're more important and we're more everything than somebody else. And actually, we're all equal. We're unique in our way, but we're equal to each other. So as I opened this to myself and I found a better way to walk, appreciate, yesing I'm a blessing, is by stop taking myself serious and really understanding everybody is an equal, and the looks and everything on the outside is just an appearance. And that is where, and I've had a blessing for a while. I've been expanding through this for a long time because I think I had to know before I go, and to know is to woe, to understand is to expand the grandeur of who I am. And that's an awesome spirit, majestically expanding through life. But we get so worried about what's going on around us, we forget to feel and experience what's right in front of us. And that is where I really expanded myself, is to stop taking myself so serious and grasp that life will forever be my tutor to expand. The more I'm open to my optimism and seeing my internal self steps magnetize the wise of me, I open the way. And it's really stopped being stuck on myself and thinking that, oh my God, this is me and the world should do this. Instead, I'm here to show the world a better way to experience life. And as I walk through this, there's a lot of stuff in me that I still have to release and dissolve. And that's a key word. It's release and dissolve rather than let go. Because when I release and dissolve, I do let go. And I feel the freedom of my own stuff. But really where the freedom comes is in the thinking. We think and tell and we smell. When we understand and expand, we enterprise the world because we enterprise ourselves. It's really a different way of experiencing life, because as I opened up and as I was going through life, I'd always have to be right and get the last word, and I was big on that. Now I can listen and walk away, because whatever was there, the wisdom for me to expand was coming from the words of others or some image from others or image from the world. And as I feel this, I free eternity within me, enterprising life today. Because eternity is nobody understands. It's just something there. It's there. But today is here to triumph over everything, daring me to live my dreams. How are we afraid to experience the events that will expand us, and we try to stay in the comfort zone and what's familiar to us? Pick me, I'm guilty. And it's easier to admit and be set free than to hide it and chide yourself internally. Man, I was good at that. And it was really about letting go of the opinions, beliefs, and even religious stuff, and even politics. Because how does politics and religion close you off from the new of the world? How is that just an expression to live your life rather than an absolute? How would it feel to live the expressions of expansion over the absolutes that pollute? And this is the way it is because society's done this since the beginning of time. And that's something I'm really open to now, understanding we still live in the ancestral anarchy of ourselves. because we have traditions, we have things we've done and everything, but how are they a hindrance rather than an expansion? And how is tradition actually a limitation that we all experience? And really I'm beginning to understand different things, but life is a liberating innovation, feeling expansionism inside me. And that's a immaculate, spiritual, majestic person with a heartbeat that shows the world our true essence of our enterprising expressions of wisdom, innovation, talent. But how are we afraid of our talents? That's the thing I'm really opening up to. My talents are different than everybody's on here, and everybody on here's talents are different. But with a mesh of magnificent, enterprising savvy, we harmonize the world. It's an individual's uniqueness that opens up the world to express the grandeur of ourselves. So as I'm walking through this and exploring this life is an exploration and an experiment of what is, what isn't. And we're all going to hit the wall, and we're all going to fly away and fly high. It's just whatever the day is and however we feel. But when we let our thinking take over, we become involved in yesterday. It's the feelings that'll free every day enterprising lure of our self-assured adventurer to allow us to move forward. As I'm expanding through this is a never-ending expansion for me, because it's a curiosity to enlighten myself will enlighten the world into the mint of magnificence we all uncover. When I see mint, that's the sweetness of our self-assurance, showing the world our courage to live beyond what we know and everything the books have taught us. You know, even though with all the computers and everything, how are we still living inside everything we know? Because we think we have to know to go. And when we know we will, we go into the woe and the status quo. But when we understand the enterprising elegance within ourselves, we dance with the unknown and waltz with wealth all at the same time. Because wealth is whatever I define it for myself and willing to experience to expand of it. Not be in wealth, of wealth. Because of is above, and when you're in it, you're in the thick of things. When you're of it, how does that feel? And that is what stop taking myself so seriously is being of my spirit rather than in my thinking. But how is your thinking led to you to get frustrated, angry, and everything? It did to me today. And you know, it's still going to happen every day. Even all the gurus who think they got it, they have up and down and different episodes during the day, just like we do. It's being willing to understand the episode to expand out of it is where life expands. We all have the same teachers in the world, just different societies, but the same type of teachers, because we have allowed history to be our teachers. But it's also the programming of ourselves. And that's what we're here, is to unprogram and scramble the sabotage, to open up the ambling, awesome adventurer that's within us and show the world that we have a frontiersman foresight to ignite the light of life, to live internally free every day. That is where it is. That's where we expand. And when we can feel the freedom and we can allow people to be who they are, and we don't get caught up in the negativity of others into their negativity. It is basically, negativity has been taught to us to control us. The inspirational energy we all feel is new to us. And that is where the new begins, is when we feel the inspirational energy and and also electrifying our emotions to expand the mojo optimism within ourselves to move and groove with who we are. The thing we're totally afraid of, and we don't even understand it, is our true abilities, our agility, and our amazing talent that we encompass. But it's also our heart hegemonic hellraiser within us, to be not a hellraiser in the physical, but to raise hell with our habitual habits that keep us locked in yesterday. And that is where we stay stuck. Because we want to stay out, we want to get outside of the comfort zone, but yet we want to keep one foot in the comfort zone. I'm guilty of that. And that's one thing I like about these Facebook Lives for me. This is my admittance to the world, and to expand the world it's actually a confession of my controlling crap to the world. And that's just what it is. Am I perfect? No. Am I imperfect? You bet. I like the imperfections of me because they're my internal magnificence, freely expanding courage, tantalizing innovation, opening new waves of bravery for me to walk the world with a smile. And I smile when people ridicule me, and I smile when people appraise me, because the smile shows my internal love every day for life. People are the greatest asset in the world, but we're afraid to admit that, because if we can control people, we make money. And when we let money control us, we're in the trolls of limitations. But when we can open our wisdom to feel the energy of money flow to us, we're in the utopian savant, enjoying our life of leisure wherever we decide to experience it. And that is a life of Riley, by golly. Gallantly opening love, living yazza jazz every day. That is where life becomes a new wave of whatever we want to experience, desire to experience, not want. Because it's a fire of desires that declares every day savvy, invigorating, rich, enterprising lure to move forward in life. Because the only one blocking me in my life is me. There is nobody else doing it. I allow others to do it, but I'm doing it to myself. Everything that's controlling you, you do to yourself. Nobody else does it. Your current way of life, I don't care if you're living on the streets, or living in the White House, or living in Buckingham Palace, or in Bill Gates' house on Mercer Island. Everything they've done, they either allowed themselves, or they've controlled themselves and thought their way to wherever they were. The difference is, Bill Gates uses wisdom to go forward. People that end up in poverty allow their thinking and limitations and always wanting to be somebody else rather than who they are. And yes, there's going to be unsavory circumstances, but them unsavory circumstances also have wisdom to expand you out of wherever you're at, and to let go and release and dissolve all the crap that your thinking life is. But wherever you're at in life, there's opportunity to expand internally. And that is the thing. People are looking to expand externally rather than energize, expand, and enterprise internally. Because internally is where life is lived. Even though we think it's lived on the physical, but we understand in the heart and the soul, it's our core chi that sets us free to experience life in a bold way. Rather than latch on to the crap of life, open your eyes to the wise, to waltz innovatively, seeing every day as a wave of wisdom to expand your life in a new way. So as I open this up and I have the gall to look in the mirror and see my imperfections as character rather than beat myself up over it, quit taking myself so seriously and live in the egotistical ignorance of it has to be about me. When I realize life is about expressing the enterprising me to the world, I majestically expand, miraculously energize, and mystically enterprise the whys of me and the whys of others. Because I'm willing to show people it's okay to be who they are, and allow the ridiculers of the world to be the fools of the world, stuck in the dribbling drool that keeps them stuck in themselves. Arrogance is nothing more than a self-sabotaging rancor within yourselves. I have to be better. Usually the wiser ones are never the arrogant ones. I've watched some wealthy people. I listen to Jack Welch a lot. He always said when he walked through the halls he always talked to the janitors and everybody equally. I also watched some of the superstars in the world. The down-to-earth ones talk to everybody. The self-sabotaging, arrogant ones think they're better than others and usually end up in a situation where their ego gets fissured and they have to come back down to earth. Because life is going to fissure the egotistical ignorance in all of us when we're willing to listen. Some of us have to keep hitting the wall more times than others, like I do. But eventually it gets through. But now I listen and I'm really in tune with my inner self. And my inner self is feeling things, expressing enterprising energy to me before my thinking mind even knows I'm in the area. The thinking mind is slow. Feelings and emotions are the supercharged computer within us. It's also the soldier and the warrior to expand us through life. It's like in football or a sports event, they never say that guy's thinking good. They always say they're feeling it. And that's the way, if you ever watch Michael Jordan play basketball, he felt it. Or Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, there's a slew of them. In my area, is them and Pat and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and James Worthy. There was a bunch of them, but you could tell when they got in, and Magic Johnson, when the Lakers got into Showtime, they were feeling it. And that's what the feelings are. They're showtime. The emotions are the gut gall to experience it all with a thaumaturgy, temerity. And thaumaturgy is miracle worker. So life is a miracle. Are we willing to embrace the miracle life is? That is the question I asked myself today, just now. But it's really being willing to walk through life rather than crawl through life thinking who I am is the best there is. Understanding when I walk and I listen, I lionize internal stout-hearted tenacity, enjoying the new of life. Because life is new every day, but are we willing and open to understanding the new? Not seeing the new, understanding. And if you can expand of understanding and you get into this is where life is today, you question yourself to the next experience to expand the Xanadu percipience internally. Because we are a spiritual energy more than we are a human being. We had to be taught to be human. We're natural spirits. And here's the question I ask myself. Am I a visible spirit or am I a human? That's a good question. And it's an unending, but it's a curiosity, energizing question to make me always query life. But it makes me query myself internally more than anywhere in the world. So when I stop taking myself seriously, I open up my spiritual serenity to enjoy the tranquility of me, enjoying the treasures of life now and forevermore. I want to thank you for being here. I am Robert A. Wilson with Cowboy Wisdom. I am a hypnotherapist, NLP practitioner, and a timeline coach, but I'm also a published author. My books are written in first person and unpunctuated on purpose, because when you write with me, myself, and I, there's no way you can dodge what's being said there. And I wrote how I expanded my life, not something fantasy out there. The way I wrote is the way I expanded my life, and I let go of a lot of pain, anger, and suffering that I thought I had to live with. And that's a lie. You never have to live with pain, anger, and suffering. There's always an inspirational expression to expand you out of everything. And my books are available at amazon.com/author/Robert A. Wilson, and howdiditeachmyselffear.com, and my website, mycowboywisdom.com. And with that, I'm going to say goodnight and wish everyone a warm, pleasant, fun summer weekend. And I say good night. Never, and it's an unending, but it's a curiosity, energizing question to make me always query life. But it makes me query myself internally more than anywhere in the world. So when I stop taking myself seriously, I open up my spiritual serenity to enjoy the tranquility of me, enjoying the treasures of life now and forevermore. I want to thank you for being here. I am Robert A. Wilson with Cowboy Wisdom. I am a hypnotherapist, NLP practitioner, and a timeline coach, but I'm also a published author. My books are written in first person and unpunctuated on purpose, because when you write with me, myself, and I, there's no way you can dodge what's being said there. And I wrote how I expanded my life, not something fantasy out there. The way I wrote is the way I expanded my life, and I let go of a lot of pain, anger, and suffering that I thought I had to live with. And that's a lie. You never have to live with pain, anger, and suffering. There's always an inspirational expression to expand you out of everything. And my books are available at amazon.com/author/Robert A. Wilson, and howdiditeachmyselffear.com, and my website, mycowboywisdom.com. And with that, I want to say goodnight and wish everyone a warm, pleasant, fun summer weekend. And I say goodnight.